You're wondering what's happening with Kensington, Maryland real estate these days. Well, you've come to the right place because that's what we're talking about today. So let's dive right in. Hi, my name is Harry Moore. Welcome to my channel. I'm a 25-year veteran realtor and Kensington resident, and today I'm going to review the 5 statistics you need to know for a quick snapshot of what's going on in the Kensington real estate market. The first is total sales. Total closed sales for February of 2020 was 18. For February of 2019 was 14, so that's an increase of 28%. And the year-to-date numbers are 37 for 2020 and 23 for 2019. So that's an increase of 60%. So a big jump up in demand spurred by the historically low interest rates. Now for the supply side of the equation, we'll look at new listings so far in 2020. New listings for February of 2020. 28 new listings. February of 2019 there were 32, so that's a decrease of 12%. And year-to-date numbers, 2020 were 54 and 2019 was 55, so that's a decrease of 1.8%. For those of you who've seen my market updates before, I've pared them down quite a bit. I still track the other statistics and I'm happy to share them with you if you're interested. Let me know in the comments below, or you can reach out to me directly via text or email, and I'll send them out to you directly. The next number we'll look at is the median sales price for Kensington real estate so far in 2020. The median sales price for February of 2020 was $591,000. February 2019, $538,000, so that's an increase of 9.9%. Year-to-date 2020, $582,000 versus year-to-date 2019, $470,000. That's an increase of 23.8%. Hold on. Before you get too excited, I dug a little deeper and there were a few inexpensive condominium sales in early 2019 which pulled the numbers down a lot for the early part of last year, so things are a little skewed. The next number we'll look at is average days on market. If a seller lives in the house, one of the things they always ask is, how long will we have to have people coming into our house? I know, it's a pain keeping a house show ready and having to scoot at the drop of a hat. The average days on market so far this year are February 2020, 40 days on market versus February 2019, 50 days on market. So that's a decrease of 20%. And if you look at the year-to-date numbers, 39 days on market for 2020 versus 54 days on market for 2019. So that's a decrease of 28%. Another key number to look at is how much the average home sells for as a percentage of the asking price, or the list to sell ratio. I look at the sales price versus the original list price so that any price adjustments are taken into account. This is another good indicator of what sort of market you're in. Higher list to sell ratio means a seller's market. Lower ratio points to a buyer's market. The list to sell ratio for February in Kensington was 97.9%. So, what do these numbers mean? Well, first, inventory has dropped in both January and February, and the year-over-year inventory is down by almost 30%. Typically, the number of active houses on the market stays kind of steady from December. There's a little bump up in January, but they stay sort of even through February. And then we start to see it move up in March. But this year, the numbers tell a very different story. Taking a quick look at price levels, they're up from January as of this year by almost 8% and year over year by almost 24%. But remember what I said earlier about that number being skewed by a few lower sales prices in 2019. These numbers are based on February activity, and the landscape has changed dramatically with the COVID-19 situation. This will certainly impact many parts of our lives in the near future, including the real estate market. I'm sure that many of you have been to the local grocery stores over the past few days. I hope that we'll all be able to take a step back, take a breath, and look at things with a longer view. I'll be monitoring the market and keeping you updated in future videos. If you'd like to see another video about home pricing strategies, click here. And if you have any other real estate questions, put them in the remarks or contact me directly. My contact information is below, and I'll get right back to you.